episode of the Cosmic Mike Show. Today we're talking about what are the food groups that are really, forgotten, and with all this mumbo jumbo diets that are out there, like the keto, the paleo, the Mediterranean, and of course everybody's into doing lots of protein. So everybody's forgotten this particular food group, and it's one of the most important. I think the food table should be adjusted for fat, fiber, protein, and then carbohydrates. And we'll take a look at this. So basically it's fiber and, roughage, as, some of you may know. And, fiber is very important, as you will see where it goes. It's really not digested by the system. It's there just to cleanse the colon. It goes right through the colon, and its main job is to kind of cleanse and push things through. So there are two types of fiber that you find in nature. You have the insoluble, and of course you have the soluble. The insoluble fiber, this is what creates the bulk in the fecal matter. This is what creates bulk. It softens the stools. It helps retain and bind with water. So it creates that bulk. So once there is bulk created in the colon and it kind of extrudes, it sends the signal to the brain that something is there. Let's start moving, and peristalsis starts. And this is how the movement of food that's being disposed gets through or starts moving into the colon. So bulk is very important, because if there is no bulk, the brain doesn't know there is food there, and it's just going to be sitting in there. Now, once it's sitting there, so the insoluble fiber is basically does, it's quick transit time of food through the colon. It makes sure it moves through the colon fast enough. Because if food sits there, just like food sitting out on the table, it will get fermented, the bacteria is going to start eating it, and it will get fungus infection. And this is where a lot of the issues come with constipation, of course, but also IBS, diverticulitis, a lot of inflammation in the colon. So very important to have this particular fiber, which is the insoluble. And that's, of course, found in nature in a lot of cellulose, which is the vegetable. When you peel off the vegetables, that's where your cellulose, the grain, thin strand-like, and cereals. A lot of the grains are full of the insoluble fiber. And the other one we will look at, of course, is the soluble fiber. The soluble fiber takes a little bit more time passing through the colon. So what it does, it kind of dissolves with the water and makes like a gelatin, like a gum or a thick substance. So it gets moving through the colon very slowly. And while doing this, a few things that it does, of course, it will go through and reduce a lot of that excess cholesterol that's in the colon, and binds to that cholesterol and starts pushing it through. So a lot of that excess cholesterol that's built in the system, and you're not efficiently getting rid of it through sweating, exercising, muscle, and of course your hormones, but also excess that's being made in the liver, it pushes it through into the colon. And also if there is gelatinous or there is gelatin type of substance in the colon, it's absorbing a lot of the sugar that you take in the food, and it will release the sugar very slowly, so you do not have the insulin spikes. And once you don't have the insulin spikes, you are less likely to deposit fat and hence gain all that weight. So fiber, very important, especially the soluble fiber, very important in helping with weight loss, managing your cholesterol, your triglycerides, managing that sugar spikes, the sugar levels for diabetes. And of course, found in a lot of those fruits, the skin, the pectin, the gums, and a lot of the jams, they use this. So eating, a fruit with the skin, making sure you wash it, clean it properly, and eating with the skin is very important. And that's why I did those blending juices. Instead of juicing it, it's to blend, so you have the skin with it, where you're getting all this cellulose and this soluble fiber. The only thing with the soluble fiber is you don't want to use this for long periods of time, because it is very cleansing. It does scrape. Fiber in general, from cereal, from any of those food groups, has, in the Vedic nature, it has the qualities of rough. And rough will scrape basically on your colon and starts removing. But it'll also remove good and bad bacteria. So you don't want continuously just removing a lot of that stuff, because it'll remove a lot of the good bacteria also. So a short period of time, one of those ones that you get in the on the market on the shelves is the Metamucil, which personally I don't like that because it has colors, flavors, and other artificial ingredients in there. I would rather do just the psyllium husks or the psyllium powder directly, which I would use only over the weekend, or if you were out on a trip or something and came back and use it for a week just to make sure you're cleansing things out. Long term, I would use the acacia fiber, the flax meal fiber, the chia fiber, the pectins. Those are very great for long-term use where they are slowly moving through the system, or not, sorry, those are the insoluble, so they're moving really faster through the system and making sure you're not constipated. And you can imagine with all those other issues that come up with constipation, hemorrhoids, a lot of bleeding, a lot of colon cancers that are happening. And also, fiber, 90% of the fiber, of course, does go through the system without being digested by the body. But some of it is broken down by the bacteria into soft, small chain, fatty acids, the butyric acid or the butyrates, and of course for energy production, where it goes back into the liver, and the liver uses that for ATP or adenyl triphosphate, which is the energy for every cell. So fiber, I think it's more important than the proteins as such, or as important as protein. In our diets, especially in the Western diets, we're just not getting enough of that fiber. In the Eastern diets, eating a lot of lentils, dals and stuff, you do get enough of that, but still having only 5 or 10 grams in a meal times 3, that's only about 30 grams. Really, realistically, that's not enough because of the lifestyle that we have nowadays. We need at least 70 to 100 grams. And there's some cultures who do that, where they'll find those population really don't have any cholesterol or blood sugar issues. So supplementing the fiber, I think it's very important, because one scoop of this will get you at least 10, 15 grams of that fiber in just one scoop. If you're having that once a day or twice a day, that's 30 plus 30 in your diet. That's going to give you at least 50, 60 grams of fiber, which is very important to keep weight at check, your cholesterol, your blood pressure, and all the things that follow through after because of weight gain and things. So I think fiber definitely should be on the top list next to the fat, because I'm a big fan of fat also. And people that are especially on the keto diet, the high protein diets, you need to do a lot of fiber. Otherwise, if you're constipated, food is going to start fermenting. It will cause a lot of issues, a lot of problems. And we talked about this, the mullahs in last week, where the fecal matter or the cleansing of the body is very important. Everything we put in has to come through. Now, it depends how it comes through. So get your fibers, make sure you have enough fiber, lots of fruits, a lot of legumes, a lot of lentils, a lot of vegetables. And if you want to substitute, of course, definitely the powders are very important. We have a bunch of different ones. The powders are better, and because you will have to take at least 6 or 8 capsules to get one scoop of that whole powder and the fiber. So the other thing I would say, a lot of water. Once you start increasing fiber slowly, you should increase a lot of water, because the water pulls it through. So these are little tips on fiber. Hope that was helpful, and we'll catch up tomorrow for Cosmic Friday on visualization. Thank you. This is Cosmic Mike signing off. Have a good night.